brush.
Garth, did he ask for your help?
Stop.
No.
We all see it.
We all see it.
We all see it.
Here's blue hair. Blue.
Protect you.
God, this is so stupid.
Blue. I don't think it was here. Oh, there's somebody here. Okay.
I don't see anybody, but then again, there's a delay.
Here they come. Here they come. There was just a line.
There's a delay.
Everybody was getting their temperature checks.
I think. Hey, I mean, I'm doing good so far. So far, so good. I'm no third arm.
I'm doing great.
I do have like the COVID headache every once in a while. Like I'll have like a headache that like pops in and pops out. And then
for the last 20 years since I had some discussions.
Yeah. And then I was really tired, like just malaise, like I didn't want to do anything last week. I started feeling much better. Like Thursday last week, I just wanted to take a nap when I got home and I don't ever want to nap. So, and then Friday I was like, okay, let's go. Let's have dinner. And I was out till like 10 o'clock at night on Friday. And I'm like, this is fine. I feel great. So
party.
I know, right?
Party. Hang on.
Uh-oh, Joanne's watching from a bar.
To get here today,
that's never good.
You're in the right place. My seminars are a great tool to help young homeowners.
I love this first part.
If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place. My seminars are young homeowners who are turning into their parents. Now remember, they're not programs, they're TV
television
shows. You woke up early.
The sad thing is, I still think I call them programs. I think I do. I don't know.
They're not called programs. They're called TV shows.
Maybe I call them TV shows.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, criminy. That reminds me. I got to fix that.
Oh my gosh. Global's coming out Thursday. We'll say it on the show.
What? I got to do that tomorrow. Hold on. I thought I had a chiropractor appointment tomorrow. And I said them to call me to remind me. They did not.
I've had my blood drawn the last 2 Fridays just to find out that I'm awesome.
That's good for you.
I know. My awesome levels were off the chart. Like it was like normal awesome levels, like greater than or less than 5. Mine was like 50.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I told my wife, like, I walk in like, why are you wasting my time at this doctor's office?
Why are you wasting their time, Mike?
Because we got a new doctor and she had to make us come in because I want to get my headache medicine.
Oh, yeah.
I got new headache medicine, but knock on wood, I've only had to take it once since I've had it a month ago.
That's good.
About 2 weeks ago. So
that's good.
Hello up in Alaska. Brenda's tuned in.
What's up in Alaska?
That is the 49th state. Seward's Folly. I just saw the Love Boat go there to catch a can with the guy from NCIS was on it. What's his name?
I don't know.
Harmon.
Oh, Mark Harmon?
He was
wow.
Like super young.
I was going to say, he had to have been really young.
Married. Yeah, it was like a 2-hour episode. Like it was a 2-parter. And his ex-girlfriend popped out of the cake. They had a bachelor party on.
That's never good. That's not good. No.
The fiance didn't want to get married, but then they had a but they ended up getting married in the end.
Right.
Some other people got married too. Like some other
gotcha. Now I want to see what Mark Harmon looked like when he was on the Love Boat. Hold on.
He had weird, he had like the 70s hair.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that episode's on Pluto TV all the time. It's on probably once every other day.
Why is that episode on so often?
Super popular. I don't know. Like,
oh my
special,
huh?
Yeah, it's. But I mean, he has the exact same mannerisms. I mean, I know he's the same person, but like, of
course he's the same person.
His mannerisms have not changed.
Oh,
yeah, Joanne's flying to the Bahamas.
That's awesome. All right.
The irony is I don't get off the boat in the Bahamas, but you're gonna have to fly to the Bahamas, get on a boat.
There you go.
Yep. Okay. If anybody wants, I don't have any idea for Friday's show. So by the way, I've been busy today and I haven't thought of anything great. So.
We'll figure something out, I guess.
Famous Pharaoh.
Well, Monday is Easter. Sunday is Easter, so just keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, we're having family over and we're gonna hunt eggs and eat ham.
Good for you. I'm not doing anything.
And deviled eggs.
Actually, I probably should make eggs.
Eggs are so good.
I should probably make deviled eggs. Brian would be very happy if I made deviled eggs. He likes my deviled eggs a lot.
Fast forwards through famous foreign films. Okay, I'm ready. That was my warm up.
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't know what that was.
The famous Pharaoh fast forwards through famous foreign films. Okay.
Oh, my phone case broke. I dropped it today and it broke. I'm sad now.
I ate at my favorite. Wait, I ate at your favorite place probably been 7 to 8 years. My stomach didn't like it, but it tasted good going down. Oh, Taco Bell. Yes. You got to build up a tolerance, dude. My stomach is like old Ironsides. It can take it. I just roll in at this point and I'm like, it's ramen. $8. Thank you, mild sauce.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, they don't know that. They should though. My old Taco Bell in Florissant, they did. They knew when it was me.
Gotcha.
I'm looking at dates for a podcast cruise for summer of 22, but Pam's out of town, and so we're trying to figure some stuff out. She's partying.
She is.
We were kind of letting things settle in after this last little craziness. And we will get started here in a second.
If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place.
Karen, it is a Disney phone case, by the way. This is my phone case, so I need a new one, I guess, at this point. There's a little crack right here.
Mine's better than yours.
Yeah. No, I like this.
My favorite podcast.
This is my lifeline. Like, I use this all the time. Like, I just stick my finger through, and it's
Those ones they sell at Disney World are too fat for me. Like, they don't fit well in my little pouch that I run in. This is a $5 case. I get them every time I get a new phone, and they're just like super slim.
Yeah.
But they work pretty well. I mean, I try not to drop.
Look, I need a new phone anyway. Like, I have been due for an upgrade for probably 6 to 8 months at this point. So, but now I'm like sitting here thinking, well, if I wait another couple months, they'll have the new iPhone out, and I can just get that one.
We won't have a new iPhone until September.
Well, I know, but
or November, like in that time.
I could still technically. I could wait that long. I don't know.
Wait at this point. Yeah, I would get FOMO. I'd totally wait.
I mean, I wouldn't have FOMO, but I mean, it would. I should just do it because. But the problem is, I have so much junk on my phone that I have to like transfer off because it's just a nightmare. Because it would take that would take forever if I transferred it at the store. So I can't do it. I can't do it there.
Dude, Pamela is hardcore. She's printing a bib on non-tear and waterproof paper.
Wow, that's fantastic. Good for her.
Hardcore.
That is.
I would just write my number on a white T-shirt.
You would actually.
I wouldn't even put my number. I just put my first name because that's like what the elite athlete, like the faster, like Meb. It just says Meb. He is never like me. I'm always like 49,822. Like,
right.
That's not a good number.
Oh, hey, here's my chiropractor, I think. Hold on. Let me answer the phone. Hold on 1 second.
We got to do this show. Come on, man. Taco Bell's not going to eat itself. Okay, we'll go back to the tape.
My seminars are a great tool to help young homeowners who are turning into their parents. Now, remember, they're not programs, they're TV shows.
Thanks for that.
Early. No one cares.
You woke up early. You're going to the chiropractor. No one cares.
I know. But I thought it was odd that they hadn't called me yet. I think they close at 6. So
you're going tonight?
No, I'm going tomorrow.
I was gonna say we're not gonna be done by 6.
No, I know that.
Let's answer some questions. Okay, here we go. Last day of March. Holy cow! First quarter is in the books.
Oh, that reminds me. I gotta let my bloggers know. Can't believe it's already the end of the first quarter.
Hang on, Scott's gonna join us for the second one.
Okay. Tell him to think of a show topic.
Well, Chip's got a good idea. We'll kind of do this to a potpourri kind of thing.
Oh, I didn't see Chip's idea. I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, that is a good idea. Especially right now.
I can't even type on this phone. Listener questions. I hate typing on a phone. So
what do you usually type on?
My MacBook, but it's not closed. Okay. Yes, the waiter does not need to know your name. That's correct.
No,
that is absolutely correct. Hi,
please tell my dad.
Hi, I'm Rick.
Yeah, exactly. Please tell.
I used to have a photography studio in
exactly.
Yes. Oh, good question, Brenda. Okay, and Brenda's from Alaska, so I'm going to answer her question.
That's the only reason you're asking.
No one answering anybody else's question, but I wanted Alaska's cool. I still can't.
Literally cool, Mike. Literally.
Some days it's warm. Apparently, it was during that cruise. Okay, here we go. What number is this? 1874. Here we go. The famous pharaoh fast forwards through
Stop.
famous foreign films. Okay, I'm good. I'm loose. Okay, here we go.
Good for you.
That's like being down in the bullpen, like warming up for the game. Here we go. Oh my gosh, Kelly, it is way harder to get ADRs than ever before. Crank up that anxiety. No, I'm just kidding you, Kelly. Don't. I'm going in July too, so we might both not be eating. No, we'll talk about it. Take it down a notch. We'll be okay. I was just totally messing with you. Ooh, it's snowing in Alaska. We better get going before it's too high. Okay, here we go. Oh, dang. Dude, as soon as I open the mic, there she goes. Make sure that dog doesn't bark. I don't want to have to do all this again. Here we go. She went upstairs, I think. Welcome to episode 1874 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. And we're putting a wraps on March 2021 today. Can you believe it? The first quarter of the year in the rear view mirror. So we're moving on through, and personally, I think things are looking pretty good for summer, fall, and the rest of 2021. Let's knock on wood and hope that we can keep making progress and, planning out great trips, whether it's the rest of 2021 or some folks are holding off till 2022. Either way, let's get you excited for that next trip and talk some Disney. So joining me today, we have Ricky from themouseforless.com down in Atlanta, Georgia. What is up, Ricky? Happy last day of March.
I cannot believe it that we are already here for the last day of March. I mean, wow, it's crazy. I mean, it's awesome and crazy. And this year's already kind of flying by, which is, I guess, good in a weird way. And, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. So we're good. Yeah.
I know. When we look back on everything that's happened over the last year, like for one thing, it seems like it's been a decade, right? I mean,
absolutely.
I feel like I've aged a decade, but then again, it doesn't seem that long ago that like we were sitting around the kitchen table every night playing rummy and keeping track of that. It's been a really, I mean, the old Chinese proverb says, they always you always wish that somebody lives in interesting times. And we definitely have, especially as Disney fans and just as citizens of the world. But I'm glad, I think it's going to give us all a reset now, especially now that we're kind of seeing the end of this, we're hoping, is that, we can appreciate small things. I mean, as Disney fans, this sounds so dumb, but you're going to get it if you're listening to our show today. Like to sit on Main Street USA on a curb and have some corn dog nuggets with cheese, because it hasn't been open, or go back to Columbia Harbor House and enjoy, we always love that those tables where you can kind of look down on Haunted Mansion, look into Fantasyland. Nobody sees that in a guidebook, but those are the things we haven't had for a year. And I think I'm really looking forward to that.
You know what I'm looking forward to? The TTA reopening, which is supposed to do on Easter. I'm so excited about that. Well, it probably is already, soft open by now, but I'm so excited to get back on the TTA. Yes! I can't even tell you. Like, I've been down there so many times since all this has happened, and I'm just like, I miss my TTA.
I think that really kind of shows your Disney fandom, right? If you are excited, it's like Dr. Rick, right? If you're excited for the TTA, no,
you might be a Disney nerd.
Yeah, you're a Disney nerd. You're like an old person.
Exactly. Yes.
It's okay. All right. So let's hit some questions and help people plan better vacations. So I was working with a guest at the Magic for Less, Carol and her family, which we've worked together for probably 7 or 8 years now. She's up in Maine. And it was interesting because we were talking about her family's going down and they're going to do Sangria University over at Coronado, which the Magic for Less agents went down for some training. They did this as a part of like a team building thing. Actually, Pam just probably wanted to have some fun with the team.
Right, exactly.
Have
some drinks. Yeah.
Absolutely. She did it because I didn't go that time. I know that's how that stuff always works. So they're going to have a little one there. She's 5 years old. And so they're going to have a kid. So she asked like, what's the deal if you have a kid? Because, like her daughter's a single parent, and so it's really hard to, everybody wants to be there and that, that's kind of a thing. So she asked the person who does it, and this is very interesting. So here's what she found out when she talked to the person who puts this on over at Coronado Sangria University. The little one can, and this is what she wrote me back. The little one can participate in our non-alcoholic version of the experience. They get to taste 4 different lemonades, then mix their own, and tuition for them is only $25. So
that's awesome.
So the regular one apparently is $45 for the alcohol consuming adult. It includes some snacks with the sangrias. And that's what we're going to do. So, I thought that was very cool that not only is it something that, is going to exclude somebody that might have a child on their vacation, because face it, it's Walt Disney World. A lot of times you have kids along, but how fun is that for kids to get to, try out some different lemonades and mix it up like the adults and just, about a half the cost.
Well, not just for, kiddos either, but like, those who don't drink, someone like me, that's a great option. You don't want to be left behind, but you still want to participate. So that's great. I love it.
That is good. So you're right. People that don't drink, that is an option for them. So very, very cool. So thanks to Carol for passing that on. I said I'd get that out there on the show and hopefully it helps somebody. I know last Friday about the ultimate pool day down at Walt Disney World. And I am not kidding. My inbox this past week was flooded with questions about the cabanas. I mean, I kept telling everybody, I should have put out a referral code, for like, if you rent a cabana, I just want they always say like, if I had a penny for every time, dude, give me a penny for every person that's booking a cabana now for the next 6 months. Cause I'm telling you, everybody and their mom wants a cabana, which they are fun, but I think a lot of people weren't aware that you didn't have to be staying at, I didn't even know that really until I did the research, that you did not have to be a guest at the Contemporary or the Grand to rent a cabana.
Yeah, there you go. We learned something new. Hooray! All of us, because I didn't know it either. So that's awesome when you learn something new, even as Disney fans. We're still learning. Yeah. Right.
And Barry Manilow, he one of the people who emailed. He's going to be at the Copa Cabana.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey, that Dr. Rick thing? Yeah, maybe you need to play that for yourself again. You've been playing it for me all but lead up to the show today. You maybe need to play it for yourself too. Just saying.
It's the hottest pool this side of Havana. Anyway.
Where's Camila Cabello when you need her? I know that's over your head, so you don't know who that is. Yeah.
Not a clue. Jen has a question. She's up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, 1,386 miles from Walt Disney World. She says, hey, Mike, we're headed to Walt Disney World in a couple of weeks, and we're looking to use Amazon Fresh to deliver some needed items while we're there. Can you tell me how this works? Do I need to meet them somewhere at our resort? Do they deliver anytime? How can I make this an easy process? Looking for tips and tricks. Thanks, Jen. Now, I've never used Amazon Fresh. I will say that, but I love Amazon Prime Now. I use that all the time because we do not have that in St. Louis. And I'm glad we don't have that in St. Louis because I would go broke. Now, the difference between regular Amazon and Amazon Prime Now is Prime Now will deliver in a 2-hour. You can get it within 2 hours of ordering it. So it's almost like getting a pizza. But like I always order my Coke Zero cases so I can put the cans in the refrigerator at the hotel. We'll order some Rice Krispie treats. They have like it's snacks, Cheez-Its, just stuff like that. Now it's not everything, but they do have, stuff that's non-perishable. That's Amazon Prime Now. And that works where you just order it. They take it to Bell Services. You can go down there and check to see, you get a message when it's delivered. You can actually track your driver just like you can with a lot of things. And just go down to Bell Services, drop them a tip, pick up your stuff, and you're out of there. I would imagine Amazon Fresh is the same way because a lot of times with deliveries that maybe need to be refrigerated, they can, at least they did pre-COVID. And I'll be honest, I haven't ordered anything to my room that needs refrigeration since the parks reopened in July. But I would imagine they would throw those in a fridge for you and you pick those up at Bell Services or have them delivered.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I've never used any of the grocery delivery type things or anything like that, but I'm sure that they are very well versed at the hotel of, being able to help in those situations if you do order things that need to be refrigerated. So, I'm certain that there's things that they can do for you. So, yeah, I haven't used Amazon Fresh either. I don't think we have it here in Atlanta either, or at least not that I know of. So.
Actually, I heard this morning on KMOX that they're going to turn. Remember the old Toys R Us that's down in Sappington at Lindbergh, and it's down by Happy Joe's.
Yeah,
Toys R Us. They're going to turn that into an Amazon. So it's their big grocery store, not an Amazon, like a big grocery store. I think it's called Fresh. I think it's actually what it's called. So we're going to get our first like Amazon store here in St. Louis. So it'll be interesting. Cool. Anyway, nobody cares but us. So Celia's
that's
got a
okay.
question. She says, when, with lots of N's, is club, you work on getting that N fixed on your keyboard there. It looks like it's sticking. When is club level coming back?
Stop.
Also, can we compare and contrast sea level at Disney versus the Orlando resort that must not be named? That is correct. Cecilia is correct. Okay, so Club Level is coming back on tomorrow, actually, Thursday. Yes, Thursday, April 1st, Club Level is returning to all deluxe resorts and Coronado Springs.
Stop.
No, it's not. Tomorrow's April
Stop.
1st.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell people that. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we do not know, but I will say just because I do talk to cast members quite often, obviously all day.
Yes.
They're
That
like
is
my
your
friends.
job. Yeah.
They're my friends. I mean, I pictured myself in like a virtual, because I've said this before, I think on a Sunday night show, I've never had a job where I've worked in a cubicle. And I've always thought that'd be kind of fun. Like we could kind of pop up like a the whack-a-mole where you like kind of look over the wall and like, there's your friend, 7 cubicles down. You can wave to him or yell to him. I don't know how that works in a real office. I was always just a teacher and I'd sit at home by myself all day with the dog. But, I consider the cast members at DRC my friends because I talk to them so much. And they say, because we talk about this all the time, right? Disney's working very hard to get those back because it's not something that would be a stretch. But again, it is a matter of demand, and I think the demand is actually going to be there probably this summer, but also the lounges are the issue, right? You got to have everybody's entitled to all these amenities in the club level lounges, but how do you police physical distancing in the lounges? But I would say if I had to guess, fall conservatively, maybe summer possibly. I don't know. Now
I think that's right.
So I have been in the club level rooms at Universal. Have you?
No, I have not.
That's why I wanted to do.
You have beat me. Yeah, exactly. That's right. It. Yes.
So I did a training at Universal, and we went in all the club level places like at Portofino, and the one that I really liked was Hard Rock.
Oh yeah,
dude, Hard Rock.
Certain Hard Rock is amazing.
Hard Rock is a crazy hotel.
Hard Rock is a crazy hotel in general. Yeah.
It's not really my jam. Like Cabana Bay is more my style, but Hard Rock was like, it was pretty sweet. But yeah, I would say the club level amenities are similar to both. I mean, basically you're going to get alcohol, you're going to get, little desserts and of course snacks throughout the day, but cordials, I guess they're called, like little, kind of like on a cruise, like the little desserts at night. Like I said, alcohol, sodas, waters, hot items, usually around dinner time. Now, hors d'oeuvres, you're not going to get a steak dinner, but you might get like some chicken wings or, when I say chicken wings, I'm not talking Buffalo Wild Wings. Usually they're a little bit fancier in the presentation, but I mean, if you're like me and I've stayed club level one night in my life at Beach Club, because our annual passes ran out and we had one day left on our vacation. So I was like, we're going big. We're going to go to Stormalong Bay. We're going to stay club level. I got a discount like for my annual pass. And so we did it. Dude, I ate the difference in the regular room, club level price, and just food in the lounge. It was like Ohana.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. No. I just want to specify that you should not go that route and try to earn your money back by eating all the food. That is not a good way to handle club level. Just think of it as a nice perk for being a club level, not a way to make your money back. So, because some people do try to do that. So like, I don't want people going in there thinking, I'm going to eat all the food and be so full from having all these hors d'oeuvres. I mean, you could, but you're not going to make your money back. Mike might have, but
no, I was kind of joking, but I kind of not, but I do remember. Exactly. So there's like a person there at a desk as you go into the club level at the beach club. I guess it's the concierge, right? And they take care of anything you need. Well, on the desk, they had a little bowl of Sweetwater taffy. Mallory was only probably like 6. She's probably younger than that. She's probably like 4. She must have eaten 50 pieces of that Sweetwater taffy. I didn't care. It was one night. It wasn't going to kill her. But yeah, she tore it up. Anyway.
That's awesome.
Okay, Mary Jane in the live chat has a question for us. Thanks for tuning in, Mary Jane. When do you think they're going to open more restaurants, and when will the dining plans come back?
The ever important question, right? I mean, I feel like this is the question we tend to get the most. Is when do you think there will be more restaurants, more dining opportunities, and then of course the dining plan. Those all go together, by the way. So as far as more restaurants, I mean, again, kind of like Mike was talking about, it all depends on demand, as well as, if they're using those restaurants right now for other purposes. I know it's quick service, but Mike mentioned Columbia Harbor House earlier. Right now, Columbia Harbor House, the part of the reason they're not using that as a restaurant right now is because they're using it as queue.
They're using it for a vaccination site.
Yeah, no, they're also not doing that.
Okay.
They're using it as queue for Peter Pan because, they can't have that Peter Pan queue. While the wait is, shorter because no Fastpass, it says it's 45 minutes. It looks a lot longer because it snakes through Columbia Harbor House. Well, that's because of social distancing. That queue is so tight, the way they built that, that they need the extra space in there, and it beats having people all the way out in the middle of the street, as I like to call it. So, there's reasons for that. As far as the dining plan, I think that will come back when Disney can have more guests in restaurants in general. And that goes back to what we were talking about before as well. Right now, they are very limited on the number of guests that they can have in restaurants due to social physical distancing. They have to space the tables, things like that. So until they can have, more or less full capacity, they're not going to have the dining plan. I mean, they just can't, because they can't sell the dining plan to everybody and then not have restaurants available for guests to eat at. So that's the main reason that there is no dining plan right now. So you're really going to have to wait until they can open up restaurants more. And
Right.
That's when you'll see the dining plan come back. And I suspect, as things move along, I'm hoping that it might start coming back by the fall, maybe, winter. I think we'll probably see it for sure in 2022 come back. But for now, for the rest of this year, I don't know that I'm hopeful that we may see it come back, but it's all going to depend on capacity.
So I have thoughts. Okay, first of all, and we've talked about this, and I've talked about this with a lot of guests over at the Magic Plus. I think that, like you said, I'm echoing what you say, but that I think more specifically, the restaurants have to be all back open, that were open pre-COVID. All the restaurants have to be open, and all of the restaurants have to be seating 100% of the tables before the Disney dining plan is even an option to come back. Because like you said, you are entitled to X amount of credits, and you must be able to redeem those credits because you have purchased those credits. It is correct. It's a redemption system. So they have to have that, which means the parks will have to be at 100% capacity, in my opinion.
I don't know if the parks have to be 100.
I think so.
I think that the restaurants certainly have to be at 100% capacity. I mean, the parks, I feel like could technically get away with not being at 100% capacity before they offer the dining plan, but the restaurants themselves have to be at 100% capacity or close to it. I mean, there are still a number of restaurants in the parks that aren't open all the time. We had a question come in about somebody who wanted to go to, you remember Crystal Palace, and they wanted breakfast, and they were wondering why they couldn't get a Crystal Palace breakfast reservation. And I had to tell them that's because they aren't serving breakfast, so until we get things like that to come back, you're not going to have the dining plan come back because there's not enough restaurant availability for people. So that's the big problem with that.
And I would say, I mean, I'm not down it. Disney will want that dining plan to come back.
Absolutely.
It's a revenue source for them. You got to remember, there are probably, I would guess. Now, again, everybody listening to the show, we're the exception to the rule in almost every instance. But I would say your typical family that goes down, purchases a Disney dining plan, part of a package. I would imagine that a lot of families leave credits on the table. And when you leave a credit on the table, whether it's a snack credit, but especially if it's like a counter service or even a table service credit, I mean, Disney's just like cha-ching, right? I mean, they got your money and they did not have to provide any kind of reimbursement on that. So they
You're 100% right. Yeah,
and also the guest satisfaction on Disney dining plans is sky high. It's crazy.
Absolutely. Yes. The dining plan, I think, will definitely come back. You're just going to have to be a little patient. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
No worries. Let's see. Brenda's got a question. She's again from up in Alaska. What are your thoughts on staying at the Swan in the Dolphin? Now, I have stayed at the Dolphin for a media thing once. So
fancy.
No, they put me there. That was sad. And that's a total thing.
I was sad. I got invited to a media event and they put me
I was hoping for Pop. I would have stayed at Pop Century instead. Here's my thing. Okay, now that I know there's people that love the Swan and the Dolphin that are going to come out and get your pitchforks. Okay, the bed was super comfortable. I mean,
they are well known for having very comfortable.
It was because I had heard about it before then, and I was like, this bed won't.
Aren't they called heavenly beds? I think. Yes.
And because I was down there by myself at a media thing, no kids, just me, and I could bed was like as big as my bedroom. Like I could lay diagonal. And like I fell in the thing. I was like, I was out. I mean, that was the bad thing. I didn't want to get up to go to any of the events because it was so comfortable. But the thing is, the Swan and the Dolphin are great. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love to stay at this hotel in Chicago or in Atlanta or in St. Louis. Like it's a really, really nice hotel, but I go to Disney because I want to see Disney stuff. I need a Disney theme, whether it's a value resort. Thing you can't beat about the Swan and the Dolphin though is location. I mean,
True.
you can easily walk to the studios or, Epcot, and it's amazing. So great beds, amazing location, but they do get you with resort fees.
They do.
You got to
and
watch
parking
that.
fees.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, now Disney does that too. That was
Well, oh yeah, that's true. But I think they're a little, well, maybe they're right along the same lines. Now, one of the big negatives of the Swan and the Dolphin, which is being taken away now in 2022, is the fact that they didn't offer Magical Express.
Yep.
So that puts it on a little bit more of a even footing, because that was a huge deal. The fact that they didn't offer Magical Express at the time, so that gets it a little more of a win in my book. I've never stayed at the Swan or the Dolphin, but since they are taking away Magical Express, it is something to consider, I guess. So.
I think people that travel for business appreciate the Swan and the Dolphin more because that's kind of they appreciate that kind of a feel, right? But for me, like a hotel to me is always vacation. I'm not a business person, never have been. So I've never traveled for business. I only travel for vacation. So I don't mind seeing a 50-foot Mickey phone outside.
Right.
I mean, that's why I go, right? I mean, to see a big hockey goal with a Mighty Ducks logo from the 90s.
Hey, the Mighty Ducks are back now, baby. Yeah.
Right. I'm about to get my skates on. That's
exactly.
Right. No. The Flying Duck or whatever, it was a Flying V.
The Flying V.
Yes. Okay, Kelly's got a question. We got to help her out here.
Okay.
I'm having anxiety about your podcast. No, about getting my dining reservations for my July trip. It's hard to get them as people are saying. Tips. Okay, wait, July. I'm doing the calculations. It's the end of March, April, May. You know what? It's probably hard to get them right now because you can't do it yet because you're not in 60 days. I'm just doing it right. Am I not? Because I'm going in July too. Have I missed out? I haven't missed out yet.
No, I don't. No.
Okay, so that's step one.
Yes.
But here's the thing. People aren't going to go on social media. I know there's lots of fan Facebook groups and stuff where people are getting their information. People tend to not post success stories. Right?
This is true. Yes.
People probably, I mean, some people do like to, to be like, hey, I got my Be Our Guest. I got my, this, and that's cool. But I would say people are more likely to put a freak out story on Facebook than they are just kind of an average. Like I got my Olivia's, which isn't hard to get anyway. I think you're going to see more of that stuff that's going to drive anxiety. Now, is it harder? Yes, it is harder because there's less capacity and they're closer in. I think more people are making the ADRs because they're 60 days, not 180. We talked about this on Sunday night. But
that's a good guess.
You're going to eat. You're going to get good meals and you're probably going to get your favorite restaurants. Wouldn't you say, Ricky?
I mean, yeah, if you have a plan and you're not me and not trying to make an ADR the morning of, you're probably going to be fine. And even then, I've been lucky. So, I mean, really, seriously, I know the panic that people have of I want to dine at my favorite restaurants and stuff like that. But, I wrote the blog post on the Mouse for Less last week about, my hidden secret. It's the Wave. It's a restaurant hardly anybody thinks about. But to me, they have some of the best food at the Wave right now. And I'm not joking. Like breakfast, awesome. Dinner, awesome. Like if there's a Wave that pops up and I'm around the Magic Kingdom, I'm like, all right, let's go. So there are different places that you can try that may become your favorite. I mean, if you would have told me last year that the Wave would be on my list of favorite options in March of this year, I would have said, haha, no way. I love their breakfast, but I wouldn't have counted it as one of my favorites. Now it's one of my favorites. So, even if you don't get the dining reservations of the places that you really, really love because of the capacity issues or whatever, there are places that are really good that you can try that are different. And I know that, and like I said, keep checking back because you never know if you don't get your reservation. You never know when something will come available. You never know when somebody's going to cancel. So that's an option too. I even have found cancellations on day of. So you never know there too. I get the panic and I get the freak out, and trust me, I've been there. But it's going to be okay if you don't get your favorite restaurants. because you're going to have another great option as a secondary choice. So, that's what I like to tell people is there are other great options at Walt Disney World that may not be your first choice. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I'll throw first of all, Tanya, my good friend down in Nashville, and prayers to everybody down there with all the flooding and all the folks who endured all the tornadoes down in the deep Mid-South this past week. It's been kind of rough here in the States. So thinking about you guys, when I watch the news, I know I have friends all in those places. So please do stay safe. But she brings a good point. I wish they would let the resort guests maybe do like a 70 and a 60 for everybody else. It's kind of a weird situation right now.
True. I
that would be good.
I get that. I understand that. That would be at least something. I don't want to see it go back to 180 days. I think that's way too much.
I don't care, but you should give resort guests priority just because
I'll give you that.
they're losing perks, and that's something that doesn't cost them a dime, right? That's something with goodwill.
I mean, even I would like to see, obviously selfishly annual pass holders included in that too. But, obviously annual pass holders probably aren't making them at 70 days. They may be, or 60 days, I guess I should say. There may be a few in there, especially those who are coming down, who aren't in the area. But, I think for the most part, annual pass holders probably wouldn't be making them in that time period anyway, but you never know. So I think 70 days is, I think that's fair for resort guests. So
here's my 2 tips though. And Justin and somebody else said, well, I think it was, so you kind of said it without saying it. If you're having trouble making ADRs for your trip, say you book a last minute trip, you book a trip for 3 weeks from now and you have theme park availability, it's all good, you can go, but you're looking for restaurants, look at the resorts, because the resorts are going to have ADRs that the theme parks don't. So, if you're at the Magic Kingdom, like I said, Contemporary, look at the Grand Floridian.
Yes.
If you're at Epcot and you're having Epcot, you can probably get
Yeah, there's a lot of choices at Epcot.
If you're at the studios, you can hop over to the Riviera, or you can eat at Caribbean Beach, so just think about that. And you could also, grab something. There's no sit down, but over at Poppin' Art at the food courts. But look at the resorts. They're going to have more ADR availability than the theme parks. And also, Justin brings up a great point. Look, and I know nobody wants to ride this thing all the way down, but if you didn't get something, look 24 hours out, because people have to cancel because they're going to get hit with the cancellation fee. Yes. And a lot of stuff opens up last minute because of that.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes, that's one of the big ways I've gotten ADRs is that 24-hour window. I'll have looked the day before and then I'll look the next day and something will pop up because somebody canceled. Yeah.
All righty, let's see here. The next question is from Rob, and this one's about Disneyland. Any rumors on when they're going to sell tickets for Disneyland? And of course, this is going to be on situations where it has to be a California resident. We know that.
Yes.
I would just have to say that they're going to have to reach out to like the legacy pass holders first, possibly to purchase tickets. Maybe not. I mean, but it would be a goodwill gesture, maybe for the first couple of weeks. But
I
don't know.
It's interesting because they're redoing the pass holder program. So I think we'd have to get that information first, obviously, before they open it up. And I could see them opening it up. I mean, obviously they have to open it up before the 30th of April. So, I mean, there's that because that's the day they open. So, and knowing us, it probably will have opened up, today or yesterday, because that's how this works is we record and then, something opens up the next day. So, because that'll be 30 days.
A month. I think we're safe on this one.
That'll be 30 days out. So I can easily see them putting it 30 days out and open it, yeah. Maybe. So, you never know. I think obviously it'll be within the next month that they'll open tickets, and probably within the next couple of weeks. I'd say at minimum 2 weeks out that they'll start selling tickets, because then they'll be a little more sure of how they can do things. But no rumors yet at this point of when they'll start selling them. But I'm planning.
Are they going to sell tickets to the third gate? That's the question.
Yeah. They got to build that sucker first.
Exactly. Talk about all that blurry.
That'll be decades before the third gate's open. So
yeah, probably not. Okay, Scott, he's over in the UK tuned in for us, and we appreciate that very, very much. He says, "Hey guys, do you know much about the Disney Cruise UK Magic at Sea announced this week for summer this year? Really excited to find out more, but fearing the potential price. Sounds great though." Scott's over in London. So thanks for tuning in across the pond there, Scott. That really is awesome. We have folks in Alaska listening. We got London. That's why I love podcasting. It's the greatest thing in the world because it brings us all together. What I do know about this cruise, and we don't know a whole lot, we just know that it was officially announced, so it is going to happen, This is a 2-night cruise to nowhere. Now, if you don't know, on the Disney Magic. So if you don't know what a cruise to nowhere is, it's just that. I mean, you get on the ship, it goes out and it cruises. It doesn't go anywhere except the ocean. Then it comes back into the port and you're off. Basically what I think this is, and I think this is a great play by Disney Cruise Line. For one thing, the Magic is already over in Europe. The other 3 ships have been kind of hovering around Castaway Cay, Nassau, Port Canaveral. They're kind of all shifting through the Port Canaveral. If you watch Port Canaveral webcam, you can see the Fantasy, the Dream, and the Wonder pop in, and then they kind of anchor right outside of Cocoa Beach. It's pretty cool to see. But the Magic has been over in Europe because that's where it sails in the summer. It sails, Med cruises and so forth. And a 2-night cruise to nowhere exclusively for citizens of a smaller country than the United States that is being very aggressive with vaccinations, I think is an opportunity to see how things go, especially a cruise to nowhere, because you eliminate a lot of variables when you have a short cruise to nowhere where everybody has to be vaccinated to be on a vessel. Because, I mean, if you think about it, if you just think about it, like, theoretically, there shouldn't be a whole lot of opportunity for anything to happen. If everybody is vaccinated, everybody's tested.
Theoretically, you are correct. Yes.
Right. Because you're going cruising nowhere. You don't have to worry about people getting off the ship at a port and, possibly coming in contact with somebody that could, have the coronavirus. So I think it's a really good first step. I will be interested to see the pricing too. And I'm kind of bummed. Of course, international travel isn't happening. So it's fine for just UK. But yeah, I like this because baby steps all the way, baby steps, especially the cruise lines are going to have to do that. And I think this is a good baby step.
Absolutely. Although I like Justin's comment of don't take the Suez Canal cruise. I think that's probably a good one not to take.
Dude, did you see Instagram? Dude, that ship was blocking my running path this morning.
I did. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's
the Ever Given, but apparently is a recording. Crisis averted. It is trucking down the Suez Canal. It is.
Yes. So, I want to go back. Rob commented about he says he doubts that they'll sell annual passes for Disneyland until they're back to max capacity. And thinking back on things, he's probably right. Because the annual pass holders were that the reason that they're discontinuing or readjusting the system that they have there for that is because of the process that there were so many annual pass holders. So with the fact that they have to have such a limited amount of capacity, I think they're just going to sell regular tickets. I think he's right on that. So I just wanted to go back to that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go back, but
that's good. Because we don't know a lot about it, but I do like this play by Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
And the Magic is over, I was
talking about the Disneyland thing.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh.
I was reading the comments. So
sorry. Yeah, I was going back to the Disneyland thing. Sorry.
We're all over the place.
We are all over the place.
Going fast. Okay, so I want to get these in because I was looking at the clock. I want to make sure we get some of these in. So,
okay, all right, let's go.
Lisa's asking again, do you think Fastpass are going to come back before Disney Dining Plan? I say yes.
I hope no.
Something Disney likes.
No, I hope.
Satisfaction.
But I'm one of the weirdos who thinks Fastpass is a bad idea at this point. So I hope it doesn't come back, or if it does, it's majorly rehauled. So
I will do a back walkover when Fastpass comes back because I love it. Karen asks in the chat, she goes, keep it. I'll try that again. We keep kicking our trip later. Now it's set for March 2022. Mask issues for grandson. Your opinion on when they will disappear? So I don't think the mask mandate is going to go away in 2021 because Chapek has kind of gotten us set up for that with some comments a couple months ago. So I don't even, the thing is, if you're Disney, right, you set the expectations and then, you can exceed expectations. If it would happen in October, that'd be awesome. Everybody be pumped, right? But you don't want to go the opposite direction, right? You under promise and over deliver.
Absolutely. And I think that Disney, as well as a lot of other companies, not just Disney, but a lot of them are going to still continue with the mask mandate, at least until the CDC says that it's okay. And, even then they're still, there may be companies that are still very cautious, and Disney could be one of those companies. I could easily see them being one that's still very, very cautious after the fact. So certainly you won't see anything until after the CDC says anything, though. That's the first step. So the CDC, you'll have to say, we don't have to wear masks anymore. And that's when I think other companies will start doing it. But, not until then, for sure.
So I have two thoughts on this for Disney. One is that, okay, so right now there's no international travel. So it's basically just folks in the United States, and our vax program is going pretty well right now. I mean, it's going better than we're moving in the right direction. I mean, we could say how it's going, but the thing is, here's the deal. Disney wants to have international travel.
Yes.
And so if international travel opens up, say in January, you're probably going to still want to wear masks. All of a sudden you're going to have a melting pot of folks from all over the world. And it's not as like homogeneous as just a United States based look at things, right? Because it's more of a controlled environment. You know, you have more of a wide disparity in vaccination rates. You know, there's all kinds of variables. So I think you got to think about when international travel comes back, it just opens up a whole new bag of worms. So that's one.
Yeah, that's true.
And I really think, and this, I haven't heard this brought up at all, but I think a lot of this is going to be based on the success of Major League Baseball this summer. I think because, okay, so for one thing, the Texas Rangers, they're having opening day 100% capacity in their new ballpark, no physical distancing.
Wow.
Just for one game, just for opening day, because it's a brand new ballpark.
Oh, okay.
There. So, you know, and Texas is just, you know, they're a state where people can make their own decisions. You don't have to go to the game if you don't like it. So they're going to have, I think, 50,000 people in the stands or more. You know, every seat's going to be sold. You do have to wear a mask. Mask will be enforced in the stadium. Now, again, in Texas, who knows? You know, people are rebels down there, whatever. But the thing is, they're going to have 50,000 people with no physical distancing, but with masks. So it's kind of an experiment to me. In St. Louis, we're going to have 15,000 fans for the games for the Cardinals. I think that as they're talking about creeping it up every month. So I think as baseball goes this summer with small, because we've gone from 6 feet to 3 feet in schools. So that should be everywhere. Because if it's good enough for schools, it's good enough for everywhere else. But I think that if, you know, we're seeing that the rates continue to drop and we can bring the physical distancing in, you know, we start to look at possibly getting rid of masks. But I would say at Walt Disney World, definitely not till 2022. And who knows once international travel opens back up. That's right.
I mean, I think that's a good guess too. You know, like I said, CDC is going to be the first step. So before we even remotely think about not being able to wear masks in Walt Disney World anymore. So, I mean, you're going to have to get the CDC to, to be on board with that first. So,
and I also want Cardinals to win the World Series. That'd make, really.
That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, opening day tomorrow, by the way, and all 30 teams, by the way, national holiday. Yes.
Oh, yes. That is a national holiday. Yeah.
No fooling. Let's see here. Mary Jane says, when do you think the Epcot construction will be completed?
Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah.
2022, I would say.
I mean, I don't know.
I'd say late 2022.
At the earliest, late 2022.
By then.
Well, so here's my theory. Again, I don't know how legit this theory is or is going to be, but my theory is they're going to go through the 50th anniversary, have all that stuff, and I think originally it was going to be based out of Epcot, but I think we're going to see it more split between Epcot with the, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opening up. And I think Harmonious will probably go as well sometime if they can do fireworks, you know what I'm saying? Like if they can figure out how to,
I still think we're getting fireworks this summer.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I do.
But maybe at Epcot. I don't think, but see, here's the deal. They're not gonna showcase Harmonious until the 50th. I can guarantee that's not happening. And they're not going to show the Epcot Forever because that show was awful. And also they're working on Harmonious. So there's no reason to show Epcot Forever.
Epcot Forever is gone. But
Epcot Forever's gone. That's why I got my
I would not be shocked if in August you see Harmonious.
They're going to show Harmonious at the 50th. I can guarantee you.
They're going to also show it probably in
August. They're not going to show it. And I can guarantee you it's going to kick off right around the 50th. It's going to kick off on the 50th. It's just my guess. But because they're going to want to split crowds from the Magic Kingdom and Epcot because they know everybody wants to go to the Magic Kingdom on the 50th. I mean, look, I already have my ticket, so I already have my park pass, and you can't get a park pass reservation for the Magic Kingdom basically right now on that date. So, so I think back to where I was going with this, I think they're going to stick with mostly the Magic Kingdom for the 50th. You see what they're doing with things like getting the confectionery redone and, the chapeau and helping to paint the carousel and all these things. They're going to do that. And then I think at the end, because October 1st, 2022 is the end of the year. So they may extend it till the end of the year, and then kick off Epcot's everything in 2022. That's kind of where I think we're going to go. So
you got to think about this. Okay. Fiscal year for Disney.
Fiscal year is October 1st.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you want to show your shareholders progress,
Yes.
and profits over the year-over-year profits. And the thing is, 2022 is setting up, because at the end, 2022 starts October 1st, and when
Yes.
the 50th kicks off at the same time. So they really don't want to give a huge, and this is why this is exactly why Ratatouille is not opening this summer.
Correct.
Because it's apparently ready, but they're holding
yeah.
it back to incentivize people to travel in the first quarter of fiscal 2022. So, like it or not, that's how it's going to be. Now, I do think something like Harmonious, though, could happen, because they are going to have to throw a bone. And people are still going to go to Epcot, because, again, October 1st is Epcot's birthday. It's not just the 50th for Walt Disney World. It is
It is anniversary of Epcot too.
Epcot. Not a big one, but the thing is, I think they might. I mean, we don't know. But okay, real quick, because we only got a couple seconds left. So last one here, Jess is asking, can you explain the walk-up list function in the dining app? Booked a trip under 60 days, and I feel like there's nothing good for reservations for our trip in 3 weeks right now, but hoping that opens up. I haven't used it, Ricky. Have you?
I have looked at it briefly when I've been down there and thought about using it a couple of times, but I actually tried to use it one time for Mama Melrose, and it ended up being full by the time I actually clicked on it and everything. I think your best bet, honestly, while the walk-up idea is great, I don't think that there's a ton of reservations that become available using the walk-up. And you do have to be like on property near that restaurant in order to be able. It's like
Target. I always try to check in from my house because we're 0.8 miles from Target for the pickup. Nope. It knows when I'm in the parking lot.
Yeah. You really have to be like in that park, in that area, if you're at the hotel or whatever. So I think honestly, your best bet is going to be more along the lines of what we were talking about earlier, with checking the ADRs all the time, checking even day of. You may find things that pop up, and that may be your best option overall. I haven't seen a ton of availability with the mobile. I just haven't seen a ton of availability that way. I've been paying attention. So yeah.
All right. So real quick, okay, we got a couple. Fulton, he is one of our fans tuned in, I believe, out in Indiana. Had a tooth pulled today, so we're thinking of you. Hang in there.
Yeah.
That's no fun. Trust me. I got 2 teeth pulled the same day.
Oof.
By a hockey stick.
Oof.
And they were my front teeth.
Oof.
And they handed them to me when I skated off the rink. I was all bloody. They're like, "Here's your teeth." They called them your chiclets.
I almost threw up. Please stop that story.
Fulton, you probably had a better tooth extraction than I did. I'm just saying. That was not good. These are fakies. Anyway, Andrew, I'm so glad to see Andrew back in the live chat.
I know. Good to see Andrew. Yeah.
Miss Andrew, one of our great buddies, been there with us the entire time. He has a simple question. Which of the upcoming Orlando roller coasters are you most looking forward to riding? Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Velocicoaster? And why is Tron the correct answer?
You're wrong. I am going with Velocicoaster. And the reason is because I know. Can you believe I'm going with the attraction that has dinosaurs? What? Who am I? No, the reason is A, I have a connection to the coaster, and B, it's opening this year. And so next year I could go with one of the other coasters. So.
Fair enough.
So that's why.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's going to do it for today's listener question show. If you have a question, drop it in the inbox. Super simple. Just put listener question in the header there and send it off to Mike@BeOurGuestPodcast.com. We'll get that on the show right away. Don't forget, we're always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. So check them out. I'd love to help you plan your next Walt Disney World, especially Disney cruises. Right now, we're booking a lot of Disney cruises for 2022. Summer itineraries all the way through September of 2022 are available. A lot of folks going to Alaska. A lot of people like to put on the parkas, see glaciers. Must be. I've never done that one yet. I'm very.
No, I was supposed to go to Alaska last year, and then COVID. Yeah.
Oh wait, we had our listener in here from Alaska. Let me try to find her. Where is she? She was tuned in with us, talking with us all the time today. She'll have to wave to our ships when we go by. Brenda. She's from Alaska, tuned in with us live here on Facebook. Anyway, drop by the Magic for Less. I'd love to help you plan that great trip, and it is a great way to support the show. So just drop by the magicforless.com, fill out the quote form, mention the show, and you'll be well on your way to a magical vacation. The magicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's a free way to support the show. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our patrons. You guys are awesome. You're allowing us to do 4 shows a week on the feed, plus a live show every Sunday night where we talk news, we read Ricky's stories, and we talk about them. It's a family gathering. If you'd like to become a patron and get another show, Mike in the Midwest every Thursday, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You know what I want as we close out March? We've been on the air over 13 years. And like milk in the fridge, stuff gets stale and goes bad every once in a while. We need some Apple Music reviews, Apple Podcasts, probably not music because I don't sing a lot. Apple Podcast reviews or wherever you download the show. If you wouldn't mind this week, just taking a couple of minutes, giving a star rating, giving some kind words. Hopefully, if you got to be mean to Ricky. Don't be mean to me.
No, don't be mean to me.
Don't be mean to Ricky either. But hey, we'd love a review. It takes you a few minutes and it really does help our show. It helps us kind of keep staying up where we are in the ratings there for Disney podcasts. And it helps us with discoverability. It really does. It's kind of a currency that podcasts all kind of weighed in. So if you wouldn't mind, give us a review and a rating on Apple Podcasts, especially, or wherever you download your show. It would sure be appreciated. So take time to do that as well. And finally, join us this Sunday night. I know it is Easter Sunday, but I think we're still going to be able to have the show. Easter Bunny comes in the morning. The family's out by the afternoon. I take my nap and then we go on the air and talk Disney. So this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central for the BOGP open line. Scott joins me. We have a good time talking Disney with you. All right, time to get out of here. Don't forget tomorrow. You cannot miss it. Tomorrow, we're going to have the replay from this past Sunday night's BOGP open line. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a classic show. It's really a lot of fun when you get to check in with all the Disney talk from the past Sunday night where you are driving the show. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back again on Friday. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Time to get back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Let me save. Save as. I think Scott can come in. Oh, wait. So 874.
My foot fell asleep. Mm. Did you just spill all over yourself?
Yes, I have a drinking problem.
Clearly. Clearly.
Somebody get this podcaster a towel.
Right?
Let me see. Let's see. We are ready if you are. If not,
should have probably texted him that earlier.
He's probably no. Look, dude, boom. See, he's ready. He doesn't have to take the dog out.
I'm sorry, my dog has been home all day. She had to pee, so you know.
There he is,
and she's probably pooped somewhere in my house.
So,
Scott!
Mike, as you know, I like to gamble. So I was playing.
We're live, by the way.
That's fine. It's totally fine.
I'm reporting you a confession. This is like,
dude, like I was on a heater. Like I was just waiting for you to wrap up the show. I was like, because I had like the link ready. I'm like, well, what can I do for like 5 minutes? You know, so I launched a blackjack table. Man, I won like 8 out of 10 hands. Like it was an unreal session. So then I like beefed up the bet, and then I lost like 5 hands in a row.
You shouldn't have taken that last question. You'd have been up.
I know, man. I would have been golden.
Who had the last question? Oh, it was Andrew. Owes you like $100 because we did.
I think I still won like $80.
There you go. That's good.
The good news is we don't have on the same hat. We've only on white hats today, but we don't have on the same.
We usually do have similar hats.
You got
the
hat
Dolphin.
is very similar. I mean, yeah that's true.
I just want to see the facial hair, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
which one of you has facial hair?
It's this side, dude. I'm going so gray. I'm going so gray over here, man. It's crazy.
Welcome
first
to
world problems. Yeah.
I know, but I gotta grow out. I'm gonna rock a stash on Thursday for opening day. I think.
No.
You know?
Yeah. You have to.
Are you getting rid of the bottom hat, like the beard?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna straight up do a stash on Thursday
because it's like should have just a mustache. Nobody.
But it's April 1st, so it's kind of a fun little gag.
Oh
you know?
My god! Will Elizabeth kill you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
More so Emily.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Emily's getting her hair colored right now. Like I'm kind of freaking out about that. I can't believe Elizabeth was okay with it.
What
Can a
did she
redhead
get
get a hair
colored?
color? I didn't
She's
know that.
getting like the bottom back like blonde or something. Like I'll send you a photo when she comes up.
Oh
It's like
my
a 4-hour
gosh.
process too. Like
Is
it's
she doing
gonna
like
take
an
forever.
ombre type thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Wade,
just
by
looked
the
at it.
way,
You don't
Wade
know
will
what it
hook
is.
you up with some gray hair solutions. I have actually,
Oh yeah.
I have beard stuff. Like it came in a pack he sent me. I'll have a
Yeah.
beard, so like I'm keeping it there just in case, you know.
Dude, I use the beard. Wade sent me an awesome package too. Like dude,
He
like
sent me
now like
awesome
the
stuff package too. I love my curly hair stuff.
that's all I use now, man.
Yeah,
Like
same.
it was a
love my
great
curly
sales
hair stuff.
pitch.
Yes.
For real, I know that's all that's in Mallory's bathroom and Paige's too. Like that's all
Yeah.
they use, and Riley too. Like, so hang on, I'm trying to find that. What was that show we were going? Oh, Chips. Here it was.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
here's
a
what
good
we're
show.
thinking about doing, and we can kind of talk about the news and stuff. We kind of did that on Sunday night. So, idea for the show for Friday: at the World for 3 days, only one park day with 3 kids. Disney Springs one day, resort tour one day. Give me a plan for a resort tour. I want to do all Disney transportation, staying off property. Ooh, that sounds a lot like what I'm doing.
What are we doing?
We're gonna help Chip plan his trip.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Let me see.
Don't worry. You got this.
Dude, I might swing by LS Techo because where Emily's getting her hair done is right next to LS Techo. So I might swing by there, give Elizabeth some company.
So you see that our new go-to place is called LS Tech now too, right?
So is
I know.
mine.
Oh,
Mine is LS Techo. We went there last night. That's
yeah,
That's so
there-
hilarious.
That's
yes.
funny.
Mine's over there right next to Kataro. Ricky, you know where that is?
Yeah. I actually had the leftovers today for lunch. So
It was funny. When I left the dentist, they were making my next appointment, and I always just say like, whatever, like I'll make it work. And they're like, okay, well, we'll do October 4th, and I was like, actually,
I can't
I
make
know
that
I'm going to
work.
be at Walt Disney World that day, so we can't do October 4th.
I can't
Like,
make that
don't you
work.
know? Don't you know?
Right?
And they're like, how do you know? But they're like, how do you know you're going to be gone already?
Because I know. Trust
I
me.
just
I'm
know.
well
I
aware.
was like, dude, I have like 3 trips planned at a time. Trust me, I know.
I know.
If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place.
I can't stop watching those Mr. Dr. Ricks. Okay. Anyway, we'll do this. This is for
I hate you.
April 2nd. No. Yeah, April 2nd. Holy
April 2nd.
unbelievable. Okay. This is 1877. Welcome to episode 1877 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you and hope you survived yesterday. It's always a fun day. In the Disney, and I'm talking it's opening day. It was opening day for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Right now, the Cardinals, I'm hoping, are sitting at 1-0. And here's the thing, though, about opening day. I love opening day. Obviously, I live in a baseball town. St. Louis is a baseball city. We love our Cardinals, but as a Cardinals fan growing up, it's kind of it's a weird thing because you get all amped up for the regular season to start, and the day after opening day, which is today, is always an off day because Major League Baseball smart. They do that in case it rains on opening day. They can still have the festivities the next day without having to, reschedule things too bad. But it's always like, yeah, we're into baseball season. Okay, now we're just not going to play. So
Right?
the day without the games, but
I believe the Cardinals are playing the Reds too, which they have like the tradition, like their opening day is always the home opener.
It is.
I don't know why that is, but it's kind of cool though.
yeah, we are in Cincinnati, and then I think we go to Miami, and then we're back in the Lou. So we're gonna have some baseball to watch and basketball wrapping up and all kinds of stuff. But we're gonna talk Disney. That's why we're here. We're not a sports podcast. We're a Disney podcast, and we're gonna
Thank
do
goodness.
some virtual trip planning today. We're gonna help one of our listeners out. So joining us today from themouseforless.com, we have Ricky. Ricky, happy Friday. What's going on this weekend?
Happy Friday. I think it's going to be a quiet weekend here. So probably do some yard work or, I don't really know what we're going to do. Well, it is Easter.
It is
so-
Easter on Sunday, so we gotta do the church thing. You gotta have deviled eggs. You gotta have ham.
Yeah, I will definitely be partaking in Easter celebrations. I will probably be forced to make deviled eggs for my husband and I use the word forced nicely because I make awesome deviled eggs, and I mean I don't mind making them because I get to eat them. So if he asks me to make them, I'll probably make them. Or I could just be nice and make them. We don't usually, since it's just the two of us, I don't usually like cook ham. So I'll probably make steak because that's how I roll. So yay, Easter steak.
Apparently, I've been getting these ads on Instagram, and Instagram is so bad for me because I almost bought a desk today on Instagram. Like the ads are too good. Like I almost buy so much stuff. Like I had it in a cart and everything. But the thing is, apparently tamales, I think, are an Easter thing nowadays because I've been seeing a lot of ads for, and maybe it's because I eat Mexican like 7 days a week.
That's
but
true. Yeah, that's true.
Ruiz, apparently, Ruiz, Ricky, that was your recent Mexican restaurant when you were in St. Louis. And they even have an outdoor stand to get your Easter tamales. So I didn't know that was a thing, but maybe it is in other parts of the country.
I know it was a Christmas thing. But I didn't know it was Easter.
Or maybe they just have a lot of extra tamales.
They could just have a lot of extra tamales. I mean, maybe, yeah.
That's pretty smart. All right. Anyway, joining us from Up in the Mitten, you can check them out at Palm Trees of Disney on Instagram and at Epscott. We have Scotty G. What's up, Scott?
Hey, Mike. Hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm always open for a sports podcast too. I mean, we can do something crazy there. Talk about retro baseball seasons or something.
Yes. That would be a ton of fun. But so what do you have going on this weekend?
Well, with my line of work, I'm tied to the stock market, and the stock market is always closed on Good Friday, so I get a long weekend. So
hey, that's awesome.
Definitely excited about that. I'm also getting my first dose of vaccination on Saturday, but then I'm going to do something crazy. Then I'm like 45 minutes later, I'm going to be teeing off for golf. So we'll see how that works.
Oh, I mean, you'll get it. I mean, at least you'll get to work your arm because
I'm going to stay loose.
I've had the first vaccine. So like that was a really hard part that right after was like my arm would hurt. So maybe you won't have such a problem because you'll be working your arm, maybe you'll be moving it.
That's what I'm thinking, Ricky.
Yeah.
Part of the strategy. It'll either be crazy or smart. I'll report back
very
how that
stupid
goes.
or very, very smart.
So today we are going to do something that we've done occasionally over the years, and this is kind of hanging over from Wednesday's listener question show. Listener Chip was in the live chat, and he asked us for some help planning his trip because he's got a unique situation where he wants us to kind of come up with a strategy or a plan to have a great trip. And here's what he has, because he has very limited time and he's staying off site, and he's going to be down at Walt Disney World for 3 days. But he's only going to be able to visit the parks for 1 day, and he's got 3 kids. So he's planning on one park. He wants to do 1 day at Disney Springs and 1 day touring the resort / taking in all of the Disney transportation. Now, first of all, let me just kind of give a little, background on this. Of course, I love staying on site, but it's not always in the cards. I'm going down the end of this month for the cheerleading championships, the summit with Mallory's cheerleading squad. Last time they did this in 2019, we had to stay at the B, which is a hotel in Disney Springs. It's got a big B on the side.
It does.
It was okay. I mean, if I wasn't so mad that I wasn't on site, it would probably be a decent hotel. But I was fired up because because I could have been at All-Star Sports, and that'd have been cool. This year we could have been at movies. Actually, this year we could have had a steal of a deal at Coronado. It was a steal. And here's the deal. It just cheer dad talk. The reason we're staying at the Hilton Disney Springs, they put a spring floor in their conference banquet rooms, right? So that they can do their run-throughs in the hotel, and they have the same floor they have the competition on. Dude, I say, does girls go out in the grass? There's grass at Pop Century. It's not a spring floor. It's okay though. That's not why you're there. No, that's why they're there. So that's why we're staying there. But we are going to stay at Coronado a few nights after Ricky and Mallory.
Yeah, definitely not me and you. We're not staying.
We're not doing that. But here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
It's not breaking news. I promise.
Not breaking news. That was yesterday.
Not that.
April Fools. Anyway, so
definitely April Fools.
Limited time, but it sounds like Chip, he's making the best of it. He wants to get that full experience, get some parks. Disney Springs, if you don't have the tickets, that's a good way to kind of get a little bit of a Disney fix without having to purchase a ticket, and then going around to the resorts and taking in the transportation. I like the general idea. So Ricky, you stay off site a lot, but you typically have passes, annual passes, so you don't have to worry about the 1 day in the parks thing. But what do you say kind of as we dive into this and try to help him make the most of this 72 hours?
I know a lot of people freak out about staying off site, and I understand. It can be a little bit of a challenge in a weird way driving around Walt Disney World, especially if you're not like super familiar with it, because you'll see a sign and it'll say, the Magic Kingdom, this lane or whatever. And then you're in the complete opposite lane and you're like, oh no, I have to get over. Don't do that. So the best thing I can say is Walt Disney World, the transportation around there, it's a loop for the most part. So like if you miss your turn while driving around Walt Disney World, just stay calm. It's okay. You're going to be able to get back around to where you need to go for the most part. So I've only accidentally left property one time on, complete accident. So and that was when Jay was with me. It was a long time ago when I didn't know where I was going around property. So but for the most part, you'll be able to figure your way around. I know that's such a panicky thing for somebody who's like, who stays off site. And that's like one of the biggest things that I panicked about my first time really driving around Walt Disney World, so that's my big tip. First of all, is you're going to be okay driving around. So that's a big tip right there. Yeah.
Okay. So let's kind of assume though that Chip knows his way around. Like maybe he's just like, like I'm exiled to
right.
I know my way around. I know everything that I'm missing out on. That's the pain of everything.
That is the pain. Yes.
Okay. So Scott, do we agree though? 3 kids, the one day in the park has to be the Magic Kingdom, right? It really, it's kind of going to catch the most for everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask for the ages, but I don't even think that really matters because I think Magic Kingdom is where you really need to go. I think that's where you're going to get the most value, the most attractions. So that's kind of the no-brainer for me. You got to do Magic Kingdom as the one park.
Okay, so let's think about that day in the Magic Kingdom. So obviously, you got to have your theme park reservation, have that secured so you can get in there, ticket media. Mm-hmm. How do we plan that day? I mean, let's say they can get it. They do one ADR, 3 kids. Ricky, where are you going for somewhere to kind of have that maybe one theme park sit down meal for them at the Magic Kingdom?
It is a little more difficult, I feel like, at the Magic Kingdom. We've been talking about so much because they're, advanced dining reservations, they are a little more limited right now. I mean, you can go back to Wednesday's show and hear us wax poetic about that. But I honestly, really thinking about this and thinking about the kiddos and everything like that, I think my option for an ADR, if you can get it, I'm going to suggest the Plaza. I think that the food there is really good. I actually just dined there for the first time, finally, a couple of trips ago, or last trip. I don't remember. It was relatively recently. I had a fantastic view of the castle as the sun set. Like, it was perfect. And the food is, like I said, really, really good, really kid friendly. And also, ice cream. All the ice cream you can eat, especially right now, since the Plaza ice cream parlor is like closed. So you can't get, Mike, unfortunately, we cannot get our not No Way Jose, but the All American Sundae, which is the knockoff of the No Way Jose. So go get ice cream there, even have ice cream for dinner, for goodness sakes. Like, you're at Walt Disney World, why not? And get like a banana split or something. That's what I ended up getting, and just chow down. I think the Plaza is really, I think, the choice that I think it's kind of a no-brainer if you can get the ADR.
Yeah, I want to throw that out there, for table service options, but Aaron brings this up in the live chat and he's right. And it just depends on what you're looking for, what your goal is. One day in the parks, like, you want to maximize that. You want to ride rides as much as you can. It's not like you're there for a week and you can go in for 6 hours and just get in and out and have a meal. You do want to do as much as you can. So, Scott, do you kind of agree with what Aaron's saying? Maybe just go counter service, especially with 3 kids?
I'm still taking the table service because, like, you're going to be tired. I'm guessing you're going to be there all day. Like, I want to have that time to, like, relax and just sit somewhere in the air conditioning and have like some nice service, and just kind of take my mask off for a little while. So I want the table service. And I'm going to Liberty Tree, just FYI. That's where I'm at. Good
choice. Very good choice.
Big shout out to our friend Sandy's. Ask for Sandy and eat at Liberty Tree.
That's a good point. We ate there. It was so it's heavy.
It's very heavy.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
But it's good.
But it's a life, and I was talking about spending a long time. That meal actually can go by pretty quick because it's family style. So you can kind of control the pace yourself, but kind of take your time with it. And don't like stuff yourself like super fast,
That's a bad recipe right there. Stuffing yourself super fast at a Thanksgiving style meal. No, don't.
No pun intended on the stuffing.
Exactly.
It's good. It is good. Yes, but I agree. And the Plaza and Liberty Tree Tavern kind of give 2 different options, right? Mm-hmm. The Plaza is small, quaint, I don't know if it's even on the menus. Obviously are limited a lot of places right now. But the meatloaf at the
Oh, it's on the menu because that's what I got. Yeah, it's so good.
So good. But at Liberty Tree Tavern, there's something for everybody. I mean, Mallory's a picky eater, and she's been begging me to go there like 3 times this summer because we went there with Scott in August. And, she's a picky eater, and she loves the mac and cheese and, everything, the potatoes. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good right now. Anyway, okay, so we have that covered. When you're in the Magic Kingdom, obviously, I would let the kids, this is an opportunity though, watch the wait times, look on the app and so forth, because without fast passes, but if you have 3 kids, make it about them. Like let every kid say, okay, you get the next ride, you get the next ride. And here we talked about this on Sunday night. Scott and I did, we had this discussion. Somebody called in and we talked about how obviously with one day, I think you're going to do this anyway, but stay till park closing, because those last couple hours, if you look at the data that people are collecting on wait times, if you stay like the last 3 to, even the last hour, I mean, you're walking on a lot.
Absolutely.
I don't know where people are going. I mean, because the parks aren't staying open that late, but wait till the end.
That's kind of my question. I mean, I know people usually leave, when it's later, like if the park's open till, 10 or something, people start to leave around 8, 9. And I get that, getting ready, I guess, to go to bed or whatever for the little kiddos. But like, if the park's closing at 7, you're right. Like it's kind of weird. Like people are starting to leave at 5 and I'm looking around going, where are you all going? Like it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Stay, it's the park's only open till 7. I don't know where y'all are going. So yes, stay as late.
Because people are tired.
Yeah, you're right. They're not me. They're getting at the park at park opening. You're right. Never mind. I understand now. Yes.
They're either tired or going to Disney Springs.
Or they're going to go grab dinner, I guess, or somewhere. So, but yeah, I stay, like Mike said, stay until park closing. I think that's going to be key because you will be able to get on so many attractions at that point, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, so real quick, let me throw this out there just for all of us, just real quick to get some. So we're going to have Disney Springs, we're going to have a resort hopping day, and we're going to have a park day. Where do you put Magic Kingdom, first, second, or third day, Scott? Or ideally, if you were going to do it?
Ooh, that's a great question. My thought is always like you want to save the best for last. But my gosh, but like you're going to be really tired at this Magic Kingdom day. So like, I might not want that to be the last thing I do because you can kind of recover like at a resort day or something, or kind of take it slow. So I would put it in the middle. I would do Disney Springs, park day, then the resort hopping day or whatever we want to call that.
Good strategy. Ricky, what about you? What would you do with it?
I was originally thinking last day, like Scott said, save the best for last. I do like his strategy though of doing it at the way to think about that one. That was good. Like putting it at the end. So you have that like rest day. That's genius actually.
So you can like sleep in the next day, right? Because if you're going to go to the end, I mean, the park hours could be long, but I don't know when Chip is planning this trip, but based on the trends lately, the park hours are starting to extend. So sleep in the next day and then book we'll get to what the strategy is there later, but that would be my plan.
Okay,
that's good.
Let's tackle the Disney Springs day because we've all been to Disney Springs. Actually, I haven't been there since reopening. Scott, you've been there a ton. Ricky, you've been there a lot since the parks reopened. Off the bat, though, 3 kids. I mean, there's a lot to do, though. Disney Springs is way better than it used to be as Downtown Disney for kids, I think. There's more to see, more to do. But here's what I would say. Obviously, you're not going to make a full day of Disney Springs. I mean, if I was a kid, that'd be like a nightmare. Like as an adult, as
an adult, that's a nightmare. Not going to be honest.
Because I don't like to shop. I hate going to shopping malls. Unless like when I go to shop, I go to buy. Like I know, like I research it online. I go into the store, I get it, and I come home. I'm not there to wander around a shopping mall. I'm not like I'm in 12 years old anymore in junior high. Trying to find girls. The mall, whatever. Jamestown Mall.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway. I'm not that anymore. So, but Disney Springs, it's a lot better. It's got the Disney field, it's got entertainment and so forth. But I wouldn't go there until later in the day. And I would take this opportunity, like Scott says, sleep in, maybe go do something like Winter Summerland, do some putt-putt, that kind of stuff. Find something, or maybe start the day like at Splitsville, maybe bowl with the kids. And then maybe work your way from the west side all the way over to the marketplace, throughout just some kind of general strategy. So Scott, jump in. What do you think for Disney Springs? How are they going to maximize the fun there with 3 kids?
Man, I like what you're thinking there. I have a crazy strategy. So I think about it as the theme parks. We all know Magic Kingdom has, one type of atmosphere and feel during the day, and it's completely different at night. Why not try both at Disney Springs? I like because I love being there first thing in the morning at Disney Springs. It's so quiet, it's calm. The shopping isn't bad in the early morning, and then maybe do that in the morning. Then, Mike, you said they're staying off site, so I'm guessing there's probably a pool at wherever they're staying. So maybe like bail at noon, maybe get lunch at Disney Springs, like a counter service. Bail around noon, and like hang out at your resort, go swimming, and then come back at night for like your dinner, for your entree, and see the same sites, just totally in a different feel.
I like this idea. I like this idea. Maybe to get your shopping done in the morning where there's less crowd. You're not fighting to go to the registers, and your World of Disney's jam packed in the morning. It's not going to be. Most people are going to be at theme parks. Living in the hotel. That's great.
Your Gideon's line.
That's exactly
in the morning.
No, you joke. That was going to be my absolutely first suggestion to them, is because they have 3 kids and those cookies are amazing. So go get yourself on the wait list for Gideon's. That's the first thing you need to do. I mean, honestly, no joke. Go to Gideon's, get on the wait list. Then I like Mike's idea of going bowling or something like that. Although you do need to be available for when the wait list is, says it's your turn. But I do like that idea of going bowling, though. I think that's a really good idea. But yes, first things first, get on that wait list for Gideon's. That's not a joke.
You actually kind of got into my next question. So let's talk retail. Like let's give like 3 places. You don't have to give all 3. Just give a couple of places. We'll try to give 3 or 4 as a group here. Places you got to go besides World of Disney. I mean, especially if you're offsite, World of Disney gives you that. It's like going to your Disney store back home when you're missing Walt Disney World. That's a given. But where else with the kids? Where are you going to go at Disney Springs? I mean, it's not the Uggs store. I'm not thinking, unless maybe one of the girls really likes Uggs. I mean, Mallory wants to go in there and thinking she can buy them because she's on vacation. I'm like, they're still too expensive to buy. We're not even home. Keep walking.
Disney style for me. I love Disney style.
Okay, so explain that store to folks that don't know what's in there.
So, you'll see some generic stuff that you might see at World of Disney, but it has some really unique items out there. I remember, and I'm still like kicking myself for not getting this shirt. They had this Pinocchio Disneyland 83 shirt, and I was born in 1983. Yeah. It was for like when they added Pinocchio to Disneyland. And it was the coolest shirt. And I was like, you know what? I'll get that next time. Guess what? It wasn't there next time. That's what's cool about this store is like they bring in new styles like all the time. So if you see something you like, you got to jump on it. But they have such really cool things. Plus, you can get a nice photo of yourself in front of the castle because they have a nice little castle photo in the store too.
Yeah, I know. Sure. That's a place that has like the teacup like a photo.
Yeah, there's a teacup in there. Yep.
Bucket.
It's a pretty cool like park. It's more like park specific stuff, which I really like, that kind of merchandise.
You know what I call that store? I call that store the influencer store.
Yes, this is true. You're not lying.
You have all the props and stuff. It totally.
And I'll say Chicken Guy is really close to it too. So get yourself some chicken tenders and then go over to Disney style.
All the sauce.
Yeah.
All the sauce. That's why you go there. All right, Ricky, what else though? I mean, not to miss, especially with kids, to make sure the kids, because you're right, Disney style kids that have, and I'm sure Chip would love it too.
Yes. Okay. So I want to go back just real quick because Becca asked a good question. Do you need to go to Gideon's physically to get on the waiting list? Yes, you do have to go to Gideon's to get on the wait list. Actually, I just shared on my own Facebook page. Gideon shared so I reshared it, a list of like what to expect to when wanting to go to Gideon's.
Okay, this is
like a baby. What to expect when?
Yeah, exactly.
This is a cookie, people. This is not a child.
It's totally worth it. I'm just saying. It's good.
The cake is worth it.
The cake is good too. Yes. So, if you want to know like the steps of kind of what you need to do to go to Gideon's, go to my Facebook page and there's a whole like thing there. So, as far as a couple options for me of where they should go when they go to Disney Springs, of course, the Lego store I think is going to be number 1. It's just such a fun store for the kiddos, building, everything. And for the adults too, it can be a really fun store to go to too. So that's one of my options. Another option that I have, though, is a relatively newer store. It's the M&M store. I think that would be a lot of fun to go browse around. Everybody loves M&Ms. So I think that, again, that's a really great option. And it's got so many great candy options there. So
I had a blast in that store. Like I was kind of like M&Ms. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my Gideon's reservation. Might as well go in here. And like you couldn't get me out of there.
No, I
That was
know.
awesome.
I went to. It's not exactly the same, but I haven't been to the one at Disney Springs yet. But I went to the M&M store in New York, and it was just again like I was like, okay, I'm going in the M&M store, and then like it seriously was one of the coolest things. This is such a cool store. So yeah, go into the M&M store. I think you're gonna have a really good time.
So a couple other I'll throw in there because I don't know the ages of the kids. Maybe they're like preteens, teens. Mallory's 13, same as Emily, and she really likes trendy. She likes going to look into those clothes. She doesn't really buy anything in there, but they are kind of cool little clothes. They're very subtle Disney kind of things. They're a little bit different than Disney style. It's more subtle there and trendy. But also, I think a lot of people enjoy the co-op marketplace because you get different. I like looking at like the luggage section, the travel section, and there's the tech section. So maybe one of your kids might want to customize a phone case or something along those lines, of Magic Band for maybe a future trip or just to have as a souvenir. So I think that I would throw in those two stores. Now, what about experiences? Of course, like the NBA experience, not open right now, but still something you could do. It would take some time. It's also a great place to eat. I mean, they have good food there, even like sushi and stuff like that. What about dining there? I mean, what do you think for grabbing either? Scott mentioned Chicken Guy. I want to throw in Deluxe Burger. I think everybody could like that. It's not too hard, and it's pretty. We don't hear a lot about it, but I think it's really good.
It's so good.
It is.
I love Deluxe. I love Deluxe Burger. Yeah.
So, Ricky, throw in another place you might want to eat there besides Paradiso 37.
Yeah, Paradiso 37.
I'm totally eating there. I'm telling you, I am totally.
Don't do it.
No, we've been talking about this on our travel agent group. One of the agents went down there and she sent back pictures. It is awesome looking. The menu is right. I am absolutely eating there when I go down because I'll be across the street. Okay, I'll get the report. It's going to be awesome.
All right. I actually have eaten there before. I got nachos and I got plantains because I love plantains. So
I can't eat those will kill me. I'm allergic to bananas.
I know you're allergic to bananas. I got it. I am not allergic to bananas, so I like plantains. I am going to suggest. Oh goodness. I would say City Works. I know because Pam's not here, so I figure throw in one of her favorite places. It's a good place to stop. They have a pretty good menu, good options there. As far as having the kiddos and stuff like that, you also could consider I do like Polite Pig too. Polite Pig has
so good. How do I forget about Polite Pig?
I know, right? Polite Pig.
I go to the same two places every time. I go to Disney Springs. There's 55,000 options.
I know,
and I always go to Polite Pig and Boathouse.
Yeah. Oh, Boathouse is a good option too. Yeah. So I would say Homecoming, but I think that's going to be really difficult to get right now. It's just so difficult to get Homecoming.
Mike, do we know when this trip is for Chip?
He didn't say. That's we're just trying to give general tips here because I didn't see details. But also, what about for experiences besides dining? We asked Scott. He mentioned two of his favorites. Maybe he has one more, but like characters in flight again. Like you could bowl, you could go up in the balloon. Now I'm not doing that. I don't have a death wish, but
it's not that scary.
I'm just saying.
You can totally do that. I've done that with your family, Mike.
I know. I was in a media event and I said, this is the time for you to do that because I am not getting into things if that cable comes loose. And
it's not coming loose. It's fine.
UK, depending on which way the wind's blowing.
You know what? And if we're planning this with unlimited funds, how about like an Amplicar at the boat?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Go on the Amplicar.
He's got 3 kids. They're not all going to fit.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They can scram all in the back, right?
One kid has to stand on the banks and take the picture.
Exactly. But
no, Chip can just drive it. Like, you know what? We don't need your professional driver.
Right, exactly. The good thing is they can watch the Amphicars though, so that's kind of a cool thing that they can do. Instead of actually taking one, they can watch it. So
what about Scott? You mentioned Boathouse. That's probably a great option for a sit down. But what is there something that's kind of like a hidden gem? Polite Pig was that, but I don't think it is anymore.
Yeah. You know what? I went here recently and I went like 3 years without going there. Mike, we just had a crazy incident there one time. So I kind of avoid it, but Maria and Enzo's was actually like a really good spot to go. I really enjoyed it. And I would say the Edison, but I don't know how old the kids are. Like, no, it's more like adultish. Emily enjoyed it, but I don't know with the range of kids, but that would be another great spot I would suggest.
Was that the time Maria and Enzo's, was that the time with me?
The day it opened. Yeah.
That was a crazy time. Yeah.
The inside of that place. Thanks. Yeah. Okay, so I think we've laid out a good day at Disney Springs, and if we had to kind of give a final verdict on Disney Springs, I love Scott's idea. Go in the morning if you're off site and you're close. Go in the morning, rope drop the stores, do all your shopping, go back to your pool, have fun in the heat of the day, maybe take naps and go back around dinner time with an ADR. If you want to do a sit down place, you could easily do counter service, chicken guy, deluxe burger, polite pig. Oh my gosh, that's in heaven when I die.
This is awesome.
That's what I want the food court to look like in heaven. Right.
Yes.
If I'm a good,
I mean, I never thought about that until just now when I was thinking about like when you were saying like all day at Disney Springs is not doable. Why not break it up like you would normally do a park day?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. There's 2 separate background loops too. There's a daytime Disney Springs background loop and a nighttime version. So
their daytime loop is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah,
It's so
it is.
jazzy and awesome. Yes. And it's Disney songs.
Well,
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to suggest though, Mike, and you kind of stole my thunder a little bit on it, so I'm going to bring it up now. I always say to Elizabeth and Emily, like, because we love mini golf. Like the Gardeners are so competitive with mini golf. Like we have mini golf tournaments during the summer. We keep score. Like
we played.
Yeah, we are insane when it comes to mini golf. And there's some mini. There's this chain that I think it actually started in Michigan, in northern Michigan, in Traverse City. It's called Pirates Cove, and there is a Pirates Cove right by Disney Springs. And I always tell my girls like, we got to go here and play this mini golf course.
And that
they
one
always
looks
say
amazing.
no.
That one looks
Yeah,
amazing.
doesn't it look awesome?
Yes.
They're like, well, it's off-site. We don't want to go there. I'm like, no, let's totally go there. I would recommend that for Chip because it looks awesome, and I'm going to do it the next time I go, even if it's by myself.
Scott's going to go by himself.
And also, you know what? I've been there. You know what? Also about Pirates Cove, Isaac's the bartender at the bar.
Oh.
Stop!
You watch Love Boat, you know that's the name of the bar.
Yeah. Is there a Fuddruckers right by there too, or something?
Was at one
dude.
point. I don't know if it's still there, but yes, I think there
Now,
is. Yeah.
now you'd totally be living your best offsite life.
No,
Oh,
don't
yeah.
go to
Mini golf.
Fuddruckers. You're making a huge mistake.
Fuddruckers
Go to
is-
Deluxe.
No, it's the best.
No, it's not. Go to Deluxe Burger instead.
Forget Boathouse.
No, go to what's that place? The Ale House, Miller's Ale House.
Yes.
That's Anyway, okay, so we've got Disney Springs, we've got his park day. We got to talk about a strategy for resort hopping on that day. And this is the day again. You could throw in some mini golf. You could work that in, something like that for an activity, because you got to have structured things sometimes for kids. Good day to sleep in.
Yes.
But this is where you're going to get your Disney transportation fix, right? I don't think he's riding transportation necessarily to get from point A to point B. It's just fun once you get inside the bubble to ride the Skyliner, get on a boat, ride the monorail. I mean, it makes you get that on-site feel. So, Ricky, start us off. Like, where you got to park the car somewhere, and it's you're not going to be able to park at a Walt Disney World resort necessarily because they're not going to let you in.
No.
Make an ADR though.
If you have an ADR, so let's say, you got to park the car. He's got 3 kids. Where are you going to make an ADR? Maybe for breakfast. That way you have the car there.
That would be
like a late breakfast, maybe. What do you think, Scott? Where are you going?
Yeah, I was thinking like a brunch all the way. There's a theme here, like sleep in a little bit. And I think the way I plotted this, because you asked a great question, Mike, like what's the order of events that you do here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you do your Disney Springs, then your theme park day that you just went super hard at, you're kind of tired, sleep in a little bit and make that late ADR. I know what Ricky's going to say, so I won't say where she wants to park her car. But
I may surprise you. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm going to say Olivia's, go to Old Key
Oh
West.
my gosh.
It has an awesome resort to tour around and look at all the palm trees. And then we can talk about what you can do after that, because obviously you'll have to take a bus from there. But I say start your day parking at Old Key West.
Yes. And you know what? Honestly, practically, it's a very easy resort to get to. It's very centrally located. You get on the bus, say where you park your car is literally right next to Olivia's, and Olivia's is right next to where you're going to board the bus to get anywhere else on property. So it is, besides that it's favorite restaurant, but it's a great place to start. But Ricky, what would your suggestion be for like a late breakfast?
It is not going to be where Scott thinks I'm going. So I am actually going to suggest to head on over to Whispering Canyon over at the Wilderness Lodge. I think that's a fantastic choice because it's all you can eat skillet. And they still have fun with you. Granted, you're not yelling for ketchup right now, because goodness knows you don't want to do that. But they're still having fun. The wait staff is still having fun with the guests. Some more so than others. But that would be my choice to start with, because you can get Mickey waffles, and nothing is better than starting your morning with a Mickey waffle. Just plain and simple. So That's gonna be where I suggest. Then I'm gonna say take the boat to the front of the Magic Kingdom, and then go to the monorail and take the loop around the monorail resorts there, and then you can go from there. So that's going to be the way I suggest.
Hey, that's a
starting
good
your
start to
morning.
the morning right there. That's a great pick,
I
Ricky.
told you I was going to throw you off.
Yeah, you didn't pick the wave after
I
all.
did not pick the wave.
That was good. You got close. You were in the same area.
I'm in the same area, but I didn't pick the wave. No.
But I like that idea. I like both these ideas because, you know, if you go to Olivia's, you're taking a bus. Now you got to kind of make a decision. If you go to Olivia's first, like, where am I going to go? Because you do need, remember, when you're using Disney transportation, well, I think this is kind of just the adventure of the day, right? They're not trying to get from point A to point B. They're just kind of get that Disney feel. You hear the announcements on the bus. You know, it feels cool. I know people, you know, dog on the buses. And when you need one to get somewhere, it's a different feel if you're just riding it for fun, or if you're trying to get like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to get to the Magic Kingdom for rope drop. And it's, you know, I'm staying at Pop Century.
Yeah.
Like, that's a different feel. But you know, if you get on at Olivia's, you got to decide like, okay, do I want to go to, what I would do is probably go to the studios.
That's the only option in my opinion.
Because
then you can get on a boat or a Skyliner.
Well, I was thinking Skyliner, and then I might just ride the Skyliner all, you know, both lines, just to ride it. But again, like you said, you get on a boat, ride that over to Epcot or the Swan and Dolphin. There's a lot of options. So walk us through what Scott, you go from, walk us through what you're thinking in your mind. You get on the bus at Olivia's, you go over to Disney Studios. Okay, how do you see the most amount of resorts that day? You're not going to see
so what I'm doing, I'm going to have this great brunch at Olivia's. It's going to be so great. I'm going to sweet talk. I'm going to see if I can have the chicken, even if it's at 9 a.m. But yeah, so then I'm going to hop on a bus after I took some photos of some lovely palm trees at Old Key West. And I'm going to take the boat is going to be my option so that I can see more resorts. I'm going to hop on a friendship boat, and I'm just going to go around Crescent Lake and just hit up all those resorts, spend some time at Yacht and Beach, head over to the boardwalk, maybe get a snack over there if I'm hungry enough, if I'm taking enough time at these resorts. Then that is when I will hit the Skyliner.
I think that's a good plan.
To check out like Pop Century, Art of Animation, things like that.
Or
Riviera and Caribbean. Like, you got so many options on the Skyliner.
Yeah,
I agree. And don't forget, now I don't know if the store's open because the boardwalk isn't open, but is that little store on the boardwalk open at the Boardwalk Inn? I don't think it is. Is it? You know,
the main shop, or
the one that's right there on the corner, the big one, because they have inside there, they have like a mini confectionery typically. Now I don't know if it's open, but they have like, you know, Rice Krispie treats, the chocolate covered strawberries under normal times. I don't know if that's open. I'll have to do some research. I'm not sure because the boardwalk's not open. Now there are dining options on the boardwalk.
Yeah, there are options available.
ESPN.
No,
there's some stuff, but I like that idea though of taking the boat. It's relaxing. You can let your big brunch settle. It's just fun.
And I love boats. I mean, I'm kind of partial to boats, but I love boats.
Yeah, everybody likes a boat. Okay, so Rick, you go do the monorail resort tour, but what do you do when you get back to? You're going to wrap that up at the Contemporary or the Magic Kingdom. So what are you thinking? Because and that would probably take you if you get off at you get off the Contemporary, look around, go in the stores. Do that kind of stuff. Go out back. There's a great photo op with that metal Mickey kind of to the Contemporary. That'd be fun. Take a picture.
Yes.
Go through the TTC, Polynesian. You can get off there, kind of walk around. There's construction. No, you can't get off there in the monorail.
You can't get off at the Poly. You get off TTC though.
Yeah, you can get off the TTC and walk over to the Poly. Yeah,
that's a good point. And you could also obviously get off at the Grand, walk around the grounds there, take some pictures, take it all in, shop. Maybe get a snack, but you get back to the Magic Kingdom or you take it back to the Contemporary. Where are you going to go after the monorail resorts?
Well, I was actually going to suggest then the option of going to, I liked Scott's option of going to the Hollywood Studios, and that was going to be the next jaunt on my adventure, was to head over that direction and hit up the Skyliner resorts. So, really, I think to take where I started and then morph over to where Scott said is a good option, or do the reverse and do Scott's first and then go into my option. Because I do want to specify, obviously, Disney does say, that you're supposed to only park at the resort, for a few hours. You can't really stay there. So I think that you can get away with it a little better at Old Key West than you could at Wilderness Lodge. So you may consider that option just for the parking aspect of things, especially if you're going to spend the whole day, just because they may be a little more lenient with you traveling around the resort overall. So yeah, That was going to be my
So, Mike,
only
what do you
other
think
thing.
about this? Because I was thinking, because I love what Ricky was going to do. Her and I are like on
Yeah,
the
we're
sync.
right on.
We're just
we're
doing it in different
simpatico.
order.
Yes.
Because I wanted to almost make a dinner reservation at a monorail resort to be able to park there later in the day. And if depending on where you're at, like on certain parts of the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, you can see the castle lit up at night. And
that's
maybe
good,
take
yeah.
a walk on the new walkway at the Grand Floridian.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just love nighttime atmosphere. You know, that's my
That's true.
jam.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I would like to do that. I mean, I know we're spending a lot of money here. We're having ADRs at Olivia's. We're gonna have ADRs at like Grand Floridian Cafe or something. But like, I think that'd be good. I think it'd be a good day.
So here's and I love these, and that's actually what I do, because you're not going to see every resort in one day, nor would you want to. You'll be exhausted. It won't be very fun. But here's the thing. The one resort I think you would really get a kick out of visiting, especially with the kids, is the Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is a challenge because you're going to have to take a bus. You're going to have to take a bus from a theme park, because you can't take one from the, from another hotel. And the thing is, like, is it worth it? Because it's going to be a lot of work. It's not really remote, but it is work, because like, Skyliner, you can hang out at the Riv, then you can just walk to Caribbean Beach, then you could be over to Pop Century and Art of Animation in 7 minutes. Like, it's so quick. Continuous load transportation doesn't stop under normal circumstances. You are busing, which, I mean, the bus was something they're looking forward to, but is it worth it, Ricky? Do you go to
I don't know. At that point, I think you do what, Scott and I have maybe suggested, and then I think you take your car. You got to drive over to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I think
have an ADR so you could get to park there.
Yeah. You got to have an ADR though. Unfortunate thing right now, it's just Sanaa, which, I mean, I like Sanaa.
Yeah,
but,
I love Sanaa. But I don't know if the
kids would be up for it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know if the kiddos would be up for the Sanaa or not.
That's true.
But I love where your head is going, Mike, because there is so much to do. There's so much to look at. There's so much art. I'm going to go bring it back to the background music. This is one of my favorite background loops to listen to. I love sitting by that fire at Jambo, even though there's not much going on at Jambo House these days. But I love where you're thinking, because that's kind of off the beaten path, and that the kids would just love being able to see those animals, because you can still see the animals from the resort right now.
Yeah.
I think kids could tolerate Sanaa, even if they're kind of a picky eater. You could just maybe get a bread service and like let them just, and I mean, because you can get meals like at other places. They don't have to be like starving. And if you go before it's dark, you could, the kids get a kick out of seeing the animals in Sanaa, right? They're right out the window, and that's a good way to kind of combine, especially if when your kids is into animals. Most kids are. So, but it is work. I mean, the thing is, here's the temptation with all Walt Disney World trips. You want to do too much.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you tour the Epcot area resorts, around Crescent Lake, and you do the monorail resorts, and you start off with like a Wilderness Lodge thrown in or an Old Key West to start, that's a day. I mean,
that is a day.
Especially
just take time to sit down at a lounge or something, at the Bellevue Lounge. Just sit down, take a little break. You'll want to bring like a portable charger with you too, because you'll probably be taking a lot of photos of these great resorts. And
that's a day.
You know what? Like, I'm thinking about taking a 2-night trip with Elizabeth coming up here, like in April, and I might just do this itinerary. I'm just saying, I really like this.
Well, and I think, because we're wrapping this up, and I think the thing is, even with him being off site, he's trying to get the most amount of Disney. And I think with what we just laid out, not that we've done anything that anybody else would do, we just kind of talk through it as a group of 3 here today, kind of in an exercise. But I mean, there's a lot of, you get really the best of Disney in very limited time, like 72 hours. I mean, this is really getting kind of the best of the best. And I like this idea, Ricky. I think we've kind of, we're not patting ourselves on the back or anything, but I think if he does this, he's going to feel like he's accomplished something, even being at an offsite hotel.
I absolutely think so. I mean, that it's kind of what I did, back when the parks weren't open from, COVID still. I did a trip where I went to Universal for a good portion of the time, but, also did some Disney stuff. And this is really kind of what I did is, did the Disney Springs thing. I did the resorts thing, and it really did feel like I was still getting a good portion of that Disney bubble. It still felt good. It still felt Disney, so I think that this is a great plan. Like you said, not patting ourselves on the back or anything like that, but, really, I think that if you only have one day in the park, that you can utilize. I think that doing these things are a really great way to still have that Disney feel. Visiting and Disney's making it so much easier to visit a whole bunch of resorts. I mean, look at how many we just, spit out that we can go to and still really get that Disney feel. And then adding Disney Springs in there, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's fantastic. So I think this is a great plan, actually.
And the last key, once you get inside that bubble, you're good to go all around using Disney transportation. You just got to get in there and then just use Disney transportation. You can get wherever you want, because I think people still didn't, people are a little unsure about that since the parks have reopened post-COVID. Can I go here? If you're on a Disney bus, they're not going to ask you where you're coming from. If you're on a boat or a Skyliner, they don't care. As long as you're in the bubble, you're good to go. And that's kind of the whole goal of this, I think, for Chip. So, Absolutely. All right, well, let's wrap it up here. And don't forget, you can join us this Sunday night. We'll probably talk more about this. And we'll talk about the news of the week. Scott will be there with me. I'll be wrapping up Easter Sunday, live taking your questions and calls and all kinds of stuff over at on YouTube and Facebook. Just join us at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central for the BOGP Open Line. We'd love to have you a part of that this Sunday night. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for your next Disney trip, whether it's Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney World, Adventures by Disney, Disneyland here soon, hopefully. Crossing our fingers, we can travel out there. Everybody will get out there. And we'd sure love to help you plan that trip. So just drop by the magicforless.com. Check out all the great services they offer, absolutely free to you. And we'll plan a great trip together. So check them out again over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. It's a free way to support the show. And a huge shout out to our patrons. You guys are making it possible to put out 4 shows a week, every week on the feed, and a live show every Sunday night where we get together. It's because of our awesome patrons. If you'd like information on that, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. All right, don't forget, you can follow Ricky. She's at Ricky Nibs on the socials, on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Scott at Epscott and at Palm Trees of Disney. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter there, and as well at Be Our Guest Pod. All right, we're going to get out of here and wish everybody a very happy Easter Sunday and a happy Easter weekend. Hope you have a safe one and a happy one with your friends and family. For Scott and Ricky, I'm Mike, wishing you a safe and happy weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That worked.
When you first said Chip, I thought you were talking about the TV show Chips.
Chips was awesome.
Of course, Mike likes
I'll
chips.
be Punch.
Hey, Larry.
yeah, Larry. Dude, that's so funny. Okay, I got to get these edited. And
all right.
I'm starving.
Enjoy your Taco Bell.
Yes.
LS Teco, here I come. I'll send you some
You're
photos.
so lucky. Y'all have my little chili cheese burrito.
Enjoy.
Okay, see you guys. Thank you.
All right, see ya.